Pain. Pain's one of the hardest emotions in the world to respond to. It's not easy to deal with pain. The pain of loss never goes away. It's something each of us has to face. As you approach adulthood, it becomes more frequent thing. Siblings, friends, parents, grandparents. It happens more until you get old and gray and there's no one left. You've outlived everyone. And then you die. Slip away. Unmissed because everyone's gone. My wife's a therapist. She told me once that one of the hardest things for people to deal with is grief. It's not the trauma of the incident. It's not the pain of it. It's literally figuring out how to function with something missing. And it leaves a vacuum in people's lives. How you respond to pain, how you respond to loss, can be one of the most defining portions of your next few years of life. The whole concept of dealing with death. Well, it reminds me of Jesus in John chapter 11. Now, you would think I'd be talking about the cross, but it's a little earlier than that. It's before that. You know, Jesus rarely traveled alone. He almost always traveled with a group. And often, there were more than just his 12 disciples with him. The others who were with him, some of them were named, such as Mary and Martha, sisters from the town of Bethany. That's not Mary, Jesus' mother. That's a different Mary. But Mary and Martha had a brother named Lazarus. And you see, these two sisters and their brother would travel often with Jesus across the country as he went and taught and preached and did miracles and healings. The way the story goes is that one day Jesus is preaching. Someone comes up to him and says, "I have a message. Lazarus is dying." Martha asks that you please come quickly. And Jesus makes his way there eventually. And when he gets there, Lazarus is dead. He had died. And the way Scripture tells the story is they bring him to Lazarus' grave. They bring him to Lazarus' grave. And it says Jesus wept. Jesus cried. The Greek word here for wept doesn't mean he shed a single tear. No, it means that ugly sort of crying face, that overwhelmed with emotion face. It means that ugly cry. And Jesus wept at the loss of his friend. Jesus wept at someone he broke bread with and traveled with. He cried. He cried at the death. The way the story goes is then Jesus said, "Come forth, Lazarus." And Lazarus awoke from the dead and came out of his tomb and was alive. What I think is the most impressive thing about Jesus in this story is Jesus knew he was going to raise him from the dead. Jesus knew he could do it. And he still could not help himself but to cry and weep and wail at the loss of his friend. I've had friends die. I miss them terribly. My eyes are getting a little watery. It's because I'm thinking about them. What I want you to understand is this. Be tough. Be strong. Survive however you need to survive. But we all have to deal with pain. We all have to deal with death. And making it not okay to cry, to not okay to miss people. They're gone, it's whatever. And we move on. We act like nothing's the matter. Not even Jesus could do that. So what makes you think you could? Why in the world are you so concerned with experiencing and avoiding experiencing what is a natural response? Why are there so many of you young people who don't allow yourself to feel anything? Jesus was fully in touch with his emotions. He felt it. He experienced it. He had the power to raise the dead, and he felt it and experienced it. So how much more are we going to feel it and experience it? Why should we run from this? Healthy human condition says to encounter it, to deal with it. So many people want to just grab hold of it and shove it way, way down as far as they can until they don't feel anything at all. I've been there. I've done it. Not feeling anything at all is one of the easiest things in the world to do. It's also one of the easiest ways to end up completely wrecked. You cut yourself off from any feeling at all. You will eventually lose it all. You'll have a nervous breakdown. You'll have Eventually that stuff's going to come out. And you bury it, you suppress it, you try to avoid it. It's all going to come out at once. You're going to be so overwhelmed you can't deal with it. You'll stop functioning. Pain's a natural process. Grief is okay. Be sad when you're sad. Be happy when you're happy. Try to find the good. Try not to hide from the bad. Jesus wept. That's my message for you today. Sorry if I yelled at anybody. This one just kind of irritates me. And, well, I'd like to see you not have to go through trying to avoid emotions just because I'm tougher than that or whatever. And to those of you around people, let me say this. Make it be okay for people to be upset. Make it be okay for them to feel sad. Make it be okay for pain to be a normal feeling that we all experience at one point or another in our lives. I'm tired of well, I'm tougher than that. I'm stronger than that. I'm better than that. I won't shed a tear, not a single tear. I've got to step off a lip and all that. I'm tired of it. Jesus wept, he cried, he wailed. Make that be okay. Let that be your legacy, that you're one of the best friends to have around when someone's upset, because you're there for them in such a way that it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be in pain. It's okay to hurt. It's easy to be a good weather friend. It's harder to be the other. Do the hard thing. and learn from the lesson that Scripture is trying to teach us in John 11. Jesus wept. Have a great day. Sorry I took a little extra